It's going down like this, motherfucker.
Nigga get mad. Say, motherfucker, what you mean you ain't gonna let me in this funky joint? Much money I done spent in here, nigga. I knew your mama when she was horn. Hump, baby. Shit, bet I do it over time. Say that, nigga. Shit. Bar, back the bar, off time. Shit, boy, I'm trying to make me some money. Boy, I'm hungry as a hog need. Slap Jesus. Shit, gotta be a Jesus, cause too many black folks.
For what he has, he says that the only way that we can solve our problem is to unite. For what he has, he says that the only way that we can solve our problem is to unite together among ourselves, among our own kind. For what he has, he says that the only way that we can solve our problem is to unite together among ourselves, among our own kind, clean ourselves up, rid ourselves of the evils that we've become addicted to here in this society, and try and...
Yes, he destroy black boys. If you destroy him as a boy, he'll never become a man. Yes, he destroy black boys. If you destroy him as a boy, he'll never become a man. Yes, he destroy black boys. If you destroy him as a boy, he'll never become a man. Yes, he destroy black boys. If you destroy him as a boy, he'll never become a man.
This ain't loud enough. I'm still trying. This ain't loud enough. I'm still trying. This ain't loud enough. I'm still trying.
I just left a light in this bitch. I just left a light in this. I just left a light in this bitch.
Fuck up. Move the fuck back. Back the fuck up. Move the fuck back. Fuck up. Move the fuck back. Fuck up. Move the fuck.
Off my dome. This. Off my dome. This is. Off my dome. This is. Off my dome.
I'm trying to told you to. I'm trying to told you. 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 Your feet. He looked down, seen his feet. The nigga went berserk. Killed the monkey. Threw the bat out the window. Start kicking that bitch in the air.
You don't understand. You don't understand. You don't understand. It's cool enough just being cool, like I am, chilling. You don't understand. I ain't scared of you motherfuckers.
Group of you together, you never can tell who's who. Group of you together, you never can tell who's who. Group of you together, you never can tell who's who.
I've seen a lot of black guys, Nipsey, but you're overdoing it.
I mean, TikTok. 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 A lot of the white content creators on TikTok get all of their dances from the black content creators.
You're a philosopher?
Yes.
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 I think very deeply. I think very deeply.
Hey, dance with me.
Damn white boys out there. Most of them is psychopaths and all that. They'll kill your mama's mama and you.
Decent white folk that still don't know they're racist.
What the hell you want here, hunky?
no cocaine, now I fiend for the check.
Your lines are still open. Oh shit, you can get it, nigga. You wanna get it?
The Chinese platform, you already know they don't give a fuck about your black. The Chinese platform, you already know they don't give a fuck about your black ass. The Chinese platform, you already know they don't give a fuck about your black ass.
I think we OD.
It all breaks down to what does this mean to me? What does this event mean to me? How does this event affect my thinking? Affect my way of life?
My word, can't be my equal, don't know what you heard. My word, can't be my equal, don't know what you heard. My word, can't be my equal, don't know what you heard. Baby, I'm a walking dead man, is what they call me when I'm coming. I hit the loop juice and pulls up in the dude. Baby, I'm a walking dead man, is what they call me when I'm coming.
I guess you go to the history of European civilization.
I just be shopping and shit. I just be shopping and shit. I just be shopping. To the east, to the north, to the west, to the south, above, below, and the middle. To the east, to the north, to the west, to the south, above, below, and the center. Greetings. This is Big Pontiac, and welcome to the Chocolate Mountain Show. I am the holder of the infinite sacred ball game that was created by the Hero Twins, and I am that one and only Galactic Daddy-O welcoming each and every one of you to my galactic patio that reaches from Minnesota to the universe. And thank you very much. From myself to myself, thank you very much. And this is the part of the show where we highlight a favorite beer. And again, we're going with Great Lakes. They sold out of my alien nest, so I have to have a backup. And the backup is Great Lakes Edmonds Fitzgerald Porter. The downstairs, I also have some Founders Porter. It is a tough drink. It's just really thick. So, well, let's get two things going at once. Oh, we can't get that going till we fill it up. Shit, so pop them if you got them. That cut me. And a toast to the booty, as George Clinton used to say. Bottoms up. Pop them if you got them. And we're still smoking on the crackle. No, I probably need to clean this motherfucker. Because it's got resin everywhere. This shit reminds you so much of crack. It looks just like. But it's not crack. This is crackle. This is a weed derivative. So we'll let this percolate for a few minutes. Oh, that's some sticky shit, ain't it? No, it's just water. Ooh, put this on my fingers. I got fucking oil all over my desk. Yeah, put this stuff on my fingers. Oil don't hurt the wood. And we're gonna let the Luca Unicorn warm up. And while it's warming up, I'm going to give you a couple of Negro spirituals. I think one of your favorites would be, I'm not gonna sing any Negro spirituals. Oh, but you know I can talk about other things. We're gonna let this warm up and modulate. Ah, it says it's ready. So smoke them if you want them. If you're motherfucking working, I'm smoking for you. That's a fucking enough. Ooh, that is enough. Let's make us blue. That blue? That's blue. Oh, so who are the party people? Ooh, that's partying with me tonight. Oh, no hiccups. Oh, I can go here. Okay, the party people are tonight is my main man and $1,000,000 from, not quite Cleveland, but I was rolling. PJ Allen, a man that's in the Midwest. They call him Silky Smooth because he always controls his.
My bitches. You saying you can't control your bitches? What?
And to be with us tonight, I know he definitely has to have.
Got to have vision.
See over the technician. What is happening? And Siova definitely has.
Got to have vision.
Lorenzo down in the SIP. And I know he definitely has to have.
Got to have vision.
Jeffrey Lane, what is happening? And he definitely has.
Got to have vision.
The one, what is happening? Aggie Pride. And I know the one definitely has.
Got to have vision.
I gotta buy more Aggie gear. Tribe of Judah. And I know Tribe of Judah definitely has.
You got to have vision.
Says the Tribe of Judah says, I saw Steph Curry hit a hole in one and definitely said, yeah, there's technology, and golf should have believed Space Jam. Well, I remember they pulled him in the hole. They made Jamie light skinned. Y'all seen the moon tonight? She is a beauty. Yeah, it is. I was outside because it was really nice. It was really nice for a while. So I stayed outside. The moon is going up, waning up. Chief Wheels 18. Chief 18 Wheels, what's happening? And being with us, you definitely got to have.
You got to have vision.
PJ Allen says, I'm working. Why, thank you for the smoke. Oh, let me show you what they are doing. That makes my first subject come up. Because they're the one thing everybody knows, and if you watch the people from California, places where weed is legal, niggas smoke in their cars. And here they're trying to scare everybody to it's still not legal to smoke into your cars. Now, already, Minneapolis has pretty much said they ain't gonna stop people. So all of a sudden you're gonna it's already a Supreme Court case that you can't really stop cars because you smell weed. So they're doing this scare tactic. Let me find it. Let me see which one was highlighting it. It wasn't them. Was it them? Let's see if it's them. See which one put it out there. Let some stupid shit be happening too. Here we go. Because they know they're fighting a losing battle, so it's a lot of propaganda coming out about it. All right, let's see what they got to say about
recreational use. And Lakeville could be one of the first cities in the state that places restrictions on cannabis.
Rose Schmidt is live for us in Lakeville tonight. So, Rose, it sounds like that city is one of several that wants limits on this new law.
It sure is. So the question at hand here is whether you'd be able to smoke marijuana on the sidewalk. The Lakeville City Council tomorrow night is discussing a potential ban on that, something other cities like West St. Paul, Inver Grove Heights, and Duluth are talking about as well.
We're the 7th largest city in the Twin Cities, the 30th fastest growing city in the country. So in my opinion, we're doing something right.
When Mayor Luke Hellier looks downtown Lakeville, he likes what he sees, but he's concerned about August 1st. When people 21 and older will be able to possess and use marijuana across Minnesota.
The last thing I want is a nuisance of marijuana smoke or vaping in the downtown that could prevent people from wanting to come to these businesses.
The Lakeville City Council is considering ordinances to ban smoking in parks and other public places and make it a petty misdemeanor to use cannabis in public. Hellier says cities across the state were under the impression that marijuana use would only be allowed in private spaces, not public. But 2 weeks ago, they learned both would become legal in August, and cities have been scrambling ever since.
We were really surprised that this was something we'd have to talk about, because the state had basically signaled that they were going to be making all the rules.
The state says cannabis won't be allowed while driving, at public and charter schools, state correctional facilities, places the smoke could be inhaled by minors, or on federal property. A DFL lawmaker told Fox 9 the law is silent on whether you can smoke on the sidewalk or at a public park, so that's up to cities. Minnesota also has the Clean Indoor Air Act on the books, a state law that bans smoking and vaping in virtually all indoor public places and workplaces. As for how Lakeville's ordinance would work, it would be a complaint-based system.
So a business would have to file a complaint, call the city, or the police department, say, hey, someone's smoking outside of my restaurant or out front of my business and it's causing a nuisance. And so then we would come and cite that person.
Tomorrow night, the council is also discussing banning all.
Now, in Michigan, when I visited, you can, like cigarette smokers, you can be outside a restaurant. And that's what they're going to end up doing. They're going to have designated spots. Designated spots where people can smoke. And already they're trying to say you can't drive, but we know that's going to go away. What is this one? Severe. This is WCCO. We had some. It's weird the way the weather's been here, and we're about to get a heat motherfucking wave. We're about to get a heat wave up here. It's gonna be 90 for the next couple of days, and this is we had a storm up here.
We are in for a wild week of weather.
Yeah, we had a storm up here today. We're going to have high 90s with a heat index of 107 the next couple of days. And so, but this happened today, and I got nothing. And this is just north of me.
Sudden severe storms did some major damage today. Around 14,000 families lost power. At least 4,000 are still in the dark. No power means no AC, and brutal heat will be here soon. It could feel like the triple digits later this week. Plus, pollution is lingering. Wildfire smoke and high ozone are extending our air quality alerts. WCCO's Next Weather team is staying on top of it.
Where is it? 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 Oh, bogus boat. Oh, right there. Where's it at?
AC and brutal heat will be here soon.
Where's the picture I'm looking for? It's not, right there. What do you guys think this looks at? Is these really sunspots? I mean, we talk about, is this the sun or is this the simulator? I mean, remember the sun is supposed to have rays. Now, I know this is, the smoke sun, but the sun is supposed to have rays. And there's no rays coming off of this. It's just a perfect circle. It makes you think, the sun is supposed to be so strong, but yet, and does this look like it's what is it, 93 million miles or some shit like that? Does this really look like this is something that far away? And I know this is, blown up too, but makes you think.
Fire smoke and high ozone are extending our air quality alerts. WCCO's Next Weather team is staying on top of it all tonight.
We're going to begin this evening with David Schumann live in North Hudson, where storms left an apartment building in pieces. It looked bad, David.
Frank, Amelia, you see the damage the roof of this building took behind me, and it's amazing that no one was hurt, but definitely unnerving and surreal to be in your apartment, look up, and see blue sky. The storm ripped through North Hudson in just minutes with an intensity folks around here can't remember ever seeing.
Seeing the ceiling tile and rain, hail coming down.
Ed Ratledge was asleep inside one of these apartments that no longer has a roof. He was sleeping on his couch, which turned out to be a miraculous piece of luck.
If I would have been sleeping in the bedroom, the whole thing would have came down on me because there's nothing, both bedrooms, ceiling came down completely straight down.
The people who spent hours Monday cleaning up are stunned by the suddenness and severity of the storm.
It seemed to come out of nowhere. Suddenly there's wind and hail. I thought our windows were going to blow in. Things just flying everywhere. So scariest storm I've been in a very long time.
Now this is North Hudson would be way east of me on the border. But I know the storm was also south of me too. Yeah, it was south of me because I live south of Prior Lake, and down at the reservation, they got these heavy storms too. So this was, but I got nothing. Like I grilled, like it started sprinkling and I started grilling and shit. I was like, this shit ain't gonna last.
Massive trees were uprooted on several blocks through town. Others snapped in half. Warped trampolines and piles of hail left behind. But Ed's only focused on what he lost. His car and his 2 cats, both missing.
We've had some bad storms, nothing ever like this.
The Red Cross is in town tonight helping people with what they need to get through this. They'll be set up for another half hour at the North Hudson.
And don't forget, this guy used to play on Mad TV, but let's go.
It's in Village Hall.
All right, David, thank you. Minnesotans have a mess to clean up tonight, too. Cindy Schmidt sent us these photos of
now White Bear Lake. Yeah, this is again near the border.
Trees on top of buildings.
This is about an hour away from me. An hour away from me east.
In White Bear Lake, you can see a big branch crush part of the roof of one home. View Up Filler Sutherland sent us this picture. It's also from White Bear Lake. A tree came crashing down and smashed this RV. Hail did damage too. This is what it looked like in Rosemont today. WCCO Next Weather Watcher Nikki Stewart found chunks of ice bigger than a quarter.
That looked like crystal meth to me, y'all.
Recordings just got better.
Shut up. That looked like crystal meth. Looked like they showed some big crystal meth rocks. Yeah, they definitely cooking up something. The country is done. Country's been done. Yeah. That's why, I've always said it wouldn't be hard for him to pull out a Man in the White Castle, trying to say that we lost, the Pacific Fleet is lost and we can't stop the Chinese from coming. What was this? This is always the stupid shit that happens. Damn. Here we go. It's always some stupid shit in this part of the country. And here we go. I have to serve a little debauchery.
Johnson. Officials say the drivers of 2 stolen vehicles caused an accident, but fortunately no one was hurt. Gordon Severson joins us now to explain what happened. Gordon?
Tell me what
Hudson
happened.
Police were looking for 2 stolen vehicles Sunday afternoon. Officials say an officer spotted them on I-94 in Hudson and started chasing them. Officials say police chased the 2 vehicles further into Wisconsin, but then the cars made a U-turn and started heading west towards Minnesota. That's when officers called off the chase because traffic was picking up. Moments later, this happened. Traffic cameras showed the 2 vehicles weaving in and out of traffic. Then one of them lost control, hitting another vehicle and then swerving into the ditch. Cameras show 2 people getting out of the vehicle and running away. The St. Croix County Sheriff's Office says at least 1 person was caught, and the Minnesota State Patrol says no one was hurt. Officials say the driver of that second stolen vehicle fled the scene. The crash is still under investigation.
Wow,
Wow is right. It is some BS. It is some BS every day. Mad TV, yeah. El Dragon, Amaru Khan, what's happening? And I know you definitely got to have vision. Love that show. It was too good and had me thinking like crazy. Yeah. I want to say, see if I can find this. Let me see if I can find this. And I'll give credit where, right, I have to find this. This is kind of shows it. And it was a brother on Brother Rich, Magic, whatever it's called. And he pointed out, I couldn't figure out the Jamie Foxx character, and it makes sense. Is the Jamie Foxx character represents, the purple represents, it represents power, but it also represents change. And so that's why they kept another point was he was able to not control but work with the divine feminine. And so that's another reason for re-evolving his character with the purple. So that was a good point. And that was on Brother Rich show. I thought that was a good point because I really couldn't get what the point of the pimp, why would you keep bringing the pimp over? Because in modern times, the theory is that crack killed the pimp in modern times. But he broke it down very beautifully on, I think it's Black Magic, whatever it is. He had a brother on there. And I hadn't thought about that, so I wanted to throw that in there. But that brother, Mr. Dark City about it. And, it's like, it doesn't matter, like, what, if Jamie Foxx is cloned or not, what does it matter? What I play, what does that mean to you? If Jamie Foxx is real or Jamie Foxx is clone, what does that mean to you? And I think this is the one he used. And you know, the color coordinated, the colored scenes, always in green. So that brother had a good breakdown. And this might be a better shot of it. Yeah. You see, color breakdown of the pimp. And then at the end, being able to throw down your robe. You know, Caesar threw off his robe. So I thought that was a good breakdown. So, always have a chip key in any car. Unfortunately, one can be taken. If a chip key in any car, unfortunately, as long as you have a chip key, yeah. And it's funny, the prices of like Genesis in some of them cars. And then another thing that's happened here in this state is, and I probably mentioned this before, but some people are some insurance companies aren't insuring Hyundai and Kias. And so people are having to go, you know, out their way to get these cars, so, or to get them insured. Just like we've had the thing in California recently. We had the thing in California recently where, you know, they weren't going to insure certain properties in California. If you caught any of that, we see the same thing happening here with certain automobiles. So, I thought that's just kind of interesting to add. You know, to add to our knowing, our understanding. That's all. And I never professed to know everything. You know, like when I was breaking the movie down, I was like, I didn't really get the pimp. Like I was like, what is the correlation? And to work with the divine feminine is the correlation. So I missed that point. So I like when other people can bring it in. The most cloned celebrity is Michael Jackson. His time lapses is like 20 different people. All of the characters are stereotypes. Yeah, that too. And that is, you know, as I said, you know, the dope dealers, all the dope dealers. You know, Freeway Ricky Ross, Edmund Williams, Big Meech. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And that's the metaphor of why the drug dealer, because they prefer that drug dealer. I mean, right now we got a brother fighting for his life. What is the dude, the rapper that's fighting for his life? You know, they trying to get him for the RICO charges and shit. I mean, they don't want that to go away. That's why there's always going to be busts. And it's interesting if you do like there was a big investigation, and maybe I showed it maybe a month or two ago. But it's like a lot of the big busts they already know. It's like a dirty trick that used to be done on naive people was to mules would be sent down south to get dope, and they would make sure one car got caught, and that almost guaranteed the second or third or fourth car wouldn't get caught. But dudes would send cars, and then they would they would purposely drop dimes on a certain car and get people caught. They didn't pay to do this. But they would get them caught in the hope that the other cars made them through. It's funny. Sometimes I do tell business, but y'all don't know who these niggas are. But like one of my best friends was telling me he had to do some months and shit. And this lighter sucks. And it sounded like he was being a mule. And I was like, wow. It's almost like the Clint Eastwood movie. You know, Clint Eastwood plays the mule in the movie, and that's what it made me think about. It's like, wow, would I risk all this and to try to live that type of life again? And I just would say no. But, I mean, you know, social economical is different for everybody. It's different for everybody, so you never know. You never know. And I guess Barbie's kicking ass, which is not surprising. As I said, as I mentioned, when I had to use the restroom during Oppenheimer, because the movie's 3 hours, so, you know, I drink beer. I'm going to have to piss eventually. But when I saw the Barbie movie come out, it was like a packed theater. So I knew the movie was, and then the people coming in, the movie was packed. So I knew the movie would do well. So I wasn't surprised. I'm lucky I don't have to go see it. My daughter has plans with a friend to see it. So I mentioned, so I don't have to see that shit. So, but for those of you that are so encouraged, have at it. Have at it. This is my own little thing. So I read something someone said, and they said that they don't use crystals, they don't use the cards because they don't want to use anything outside of themselves. Well, alchemy in itself is outside of ourselves. And to use any type of magic, you have to have a alchemy base. Because all alchemy really is manipulating the elements. And so I can understand saying you use source energy. I understand that. But source energy just isn't by itself. And so you're going to eventually use something that's outside of yourself. Again, if you read a book, the book is outside of yourself. The information you didn't know before, so you're bringing the information in. So I thought it was interesting. The sister said that, she doesn't use crystals and things. But like these things you can bring inside of you. Like the connection that these crystals can give you, you become almost like one with the crystal. And crystals can give you something that a lot of other things can't really give you. I mean, even the simplest kind of crystal, if you close your eyes, you'll start seeing little blue dots saying hello, trying to connect with you. And remember, we're non-logical beings, or non-local. We don't need a local thing to thrive. We're not like electricity in our house. I mean, we can think something here and someone across the country can have a similar thought. Or we can, again, the way the language is spelling, you can say something and it's carried across the nation. So I don't know. I don't know if that premise is. Now I can say that tarot cards and cards are definitely outside. Again, you're trying to connect to some type of vision. You're trying to get the rhythm of whoever you reading your own cards. You're trying to see what is in store for you. And yes, tomorrow. Now I was looking up here, and this is. But the 26th would be the day out of time on the Mayan calendar. Where is it? Ah, here it is. Now, the long count has 13, 0, 10, 13, 7, which would be 13 batoons, 0 katoons, 10 tunes, 13 unos, and 7 kin. And so 7 kin would be day 7. But, yeah, the 25th, would be the last day of this cycle. And then the 26th would be the day out of time. And the new Mayan calendar would start the 28th. So we have that. And so I'll make sure I'll come back on and celebrate that with y'all. And it's nothing to believe. And it's nothing that I'm trying to convert people. It's just this is what's been observed by the Mayans and the Omeka Cabezas. That's been observed for, their calendar really goes back billions of years. They try to give you a date of 4 BC or some shit like that. Yeah, there's other stylies that don't do their calendars much older, and they know this. I have a monsters of books. I'm moving them all around all the time, trying to find them without knocking everything over. Oh, they're way behind me here. All right. Guess that was one way of getting them over here. It still ain't the one I need. Still not the one I need. Oh, maybe this is it. Oh, yeah. I don't like leaving books on the ground. All right. But in this book, they give dates. And you know how the victors make the dates and the times. And it's not really the one writing the book. He's just collecting the information and putting the information in here. And it's just dates and times of all these civilizations when they say everything is starting. Now, here we go. The uniform timetable. And I've said this before. Yeah, but they call Hermes Trismegistus, Father Alchemy. Hermes the 3-time. No, these are just names. These are just names. But even that they give that name, like it's a real being. Oh, okay, here goes the timelines I was looking for. Yeah, this is it. And of course, they always want to start with a European timeline, King Solomon, Pythagoras, all these people that learned from older people. But yet their time, they want to give you these timelines of these. Again, they call these magicians. They call King Solomon a magician who compelled demons to help build his temple. So, but the timelines always favor them. And even names, names that we carry on. Names that we even carry on. And it keeps the energy. It's like when we have these rappers take these names, these rappers carry that energy. They keep that idea alive. And it's interesting that it's set up like that. Huh. I'm tasting something in here that I hadn't tasted before. I'm tasting Maizen in this beer. I don't remember Maizen being in the beer before. All these characters are stereo. Okay, yeah, that's where we were. Okay. And so it's hard to trust any of the history. That's my point about with Magic Johnson, all these celebrities going to Europe. Why do you want to go to Europe? Because that's promoting that we should go to Europe and making us think that if we don't go to Europe, we're missing something. And we're celebrating something that, like I was saying, is outside of ourselves. Going to Europe is for most is celebrating something completely outside of yourself. You're celebrating the indoctrination that they've given you. That you're thinking these things over there should be important. That you're missing something if you don't go visit these places. So that's the thing I say. Consider is that you are not missing anything. But the world tells you otherwise. They tell you that otherwise, that you're missing something. And we're not. Where's this story? Damn, where is this at? Man, sisters have it rough. I tell you, American sisters just, they really have it rough. And I don't know if people understand that the sisters seem to be targeted. All right, here we go. Here's some debauchery.
Burst of gunfire leaves a young woman dead tonight. Philadelphia police say she was shot and killed while sitting in a car here in Feltonville. The gunman opening fire from a passing SUV. Monday night, and the big story on Action News is the latest in a shocking murder in the 500 block of Loudon Street and the desperate search for a suspect. Action News reporter Katie Catro is live from Philadelphia Police Headquarters with more on the investigation and the victim. Katie.
Rick, police are still looking for the shooter or shooters responsible for firing at least 28 shots and killing a 32-year-old woman. All of this while little kids were practicing football nearby.
Several bullets went through the front windshield, and she was struck in the face, the neck, and the chest.
Just before 6 p.m., a barrage of bullets rang out on the 500 block of East Loudon Street in Fentonville. Police say a 32-year-old woman was fatally shot.
She was slumped in the driver's seat of a Honda sedan that was parked along the curb. Clearly, that vehicle was hit at least 15 times by gunfire.
Police say the woman is the registered owner of the vehicle. She does not live in the neighborhood. Investigators aren't sure if the woman was the intended target, but say her vehicle was.
Although someone was tragically shot and killed, we had at least 100 people at this playground right across the street. And with 28 shots fired, we're very lucky that there are no
I mean, here you are trying to practice the sacred ball game, and you're watching this violence happen in front of you. You hear the shots, and you're supposed to, at some point, they probably went to safety, but as soon as it's over, they're back practicing. Do you see mentally how that has to be tough? You know, that has to be tough. Hey, Nicole B., what is happening? And I know you definitely have.
You got to have vision.
So I'm going to let y'all hear the rest of this silly stuff. Or not silly, but sad, tragic.
additional shooting victims.
It just got me trembling right now, like just to think that this happened, and my son is really practicing right here. So I don't know, we got to do better.
Jalea Joyner is a team mom for her son's team, the Alney Eagles. She says gunfire is a regular occurrence during football practice. Today's shooting is just 1 block away from Wyoming and D Street, where 5 people were shot last week during a vigil for a man who had been killed at the same location earlier this month.
I mean, they're just, ready for the hear gunshots, they know to get down. It's always some type of violence going on. It's really crazy out here. It's really unsafe. It's been times where we had to call practice and have everybody duck on the field. It's really scary.
Now, police do not have a motive at this
Type of violence going on. It's really crazy out here. It's really unsafe. It's been times where we had to
Wow, look at this facility. It kind of looks like it's maintained, but look at those field goal posts. I don't see any lines on the field. It looks like it's kind of regularly mowed. But look at this facility. I mean, look at this brother's holding a tire, and that's a tire to probably, try high legs. There's no blocking dummies, and I know this is little boy football, but at least they should have the plastic pads for them to hit. But none of that. None of that at all. No lines on the field. I mean, look at this. And maybe they're burned on. It's hard to say. I mean, from the view we have. But look at, wow. Wow. And it's this is... Damn, it is like you can this could be oh here's a funny story. This is to tell you how hot it was. Oh, and let me tell you the pickleball guide. Let me tell you the workout I got today. I did get my ass up early in the morning. I played 7, maybe 8 games. I think I played 8 games. Where we go? All right, here we go. All right, today I got 100 and I burned 198 calories. I stood for over 16 hours. My heart rate normally is up around 69 today. I got almost 10,000 steps in. This is roughly 5 miles. Yeah, I exercised for an hour and 47 minutes. Got my heart up around 23 beats faster than normal while I exercised. Yeah, I worked out for an hour and 48 minutes. I got 9 hours of sleep. Walking heart rate went up a little more to 84 beats a minute. And says I did a 6-minute walk. I don't know where I walked for 6 minutes. Probably checked the mail. And a lot of times they show your heart rate as you exercise, where it peaked. So this tells you how many stairs you climbed. 7 floors of stairs. You know, I live on a two floor place. My crib's got upstairs, downstairs. So, if I can do it, you can do it. And you don't have to be a pickleball guy, but whatever your thing is, find out what it is and wow. This is more debauchery, local debauchery. Or this might be the funny story. Well, let's see.
Behind bars this evening, accused of a decades-old Minneapolis murder. As Esme Murphy reports, the break in the case came thanks to advances in DNA technology.
For years, Matthew Russell Brown worked security at the state sex offender program in Moose Lake. He also ran a motel in nearby Cloquet. He is now in the Hennepin County Jail charged with the murder of Robert Miller at this South Minneapolis apartment building in 1984.
It shows that we have not forgotten about victims. And this is not the only cold case that we were working on.
Minneapolis police got help from the FBI and the Minnesota BCA and their crime lab.
The DNA evidence in this case actually took some time to build. Back in 2018, they were able to put together a DNA profile from blood from a doorknob from the original scene. Then they built a genealogical profile and actually were able to identify a suspect. But it was not until March of 2023, when they got DNA from the suspect's discarded cup, that they were able to positively know they had their man.
When we first started doing DNA testing here at the BCA, you needed blood the size of a quarter.
Superintendent Drew Evans of the BCA.
But now it's certainly anything from somebody might have discarded a hat, a glove, it could be a cigarette butt at a scene, a pop can, all types of different things that we're able to swab that. And from very little transfer or handling, we're able to get DNA results.
But for
so I got a sucker. Jamar 3224, what is happening? And I know you definitely got to have
vision
to be here tonight with me. What was the other one I wanted to laugh about? It's kind of funny. I think it's the next story over. Let's see. Oh yeah, here it is. I was gonna show this shit, and this shit's kind of funny. It's kind of funny, but you know, it's the heat is about to be in this motherfucker. and we're going to have 66% humidity here.
MSP Airport, and her parents are blaming extreme heat.
Yeah, that teenager was boarding a flight home to North Carolina with her family when they say hot and crowded conditions prompted their medical emergency. Courtney Godfrey joins us now with details on that. Courtney?
Yeah, Randy, the teen's blood pressure dropped drastically and she had to be hospitalized. The family now saying the airline didn't do enough to prevent.
Oh, this is our smaller airport. This is the smaller airport. What we got? Humphrey Airport. This is our smaller airport. This is airport number 2.
Prevent the incident despite this extreme heat we're experiencing this week.
It was a great trip, had a great time with family, got to the airport, everybody was in a fantastic mood. Then we went to board the plane and what happened.
A weekend getaway to northern Minnesota didn't end the way the Harrison family had planned after their 17-year-old had to be carted off the plane by EMTs. Her dad blaming the extreme heat and a non-air-conditioned jet bridge.
Being from the south, I know a little bit about heat. It was over 100 degrees inside that jetway.
Brian Harrison of Charlotte, North Carolina says they were crowded onto the jet bridge for at least 10 to 15 minutes before his daughter, who has an underlying health condition, passed out, claiming American Airlines staff in the terminal at MSP failed to warn passengers of the conditions.
No one was looking out for the passengers. They were just loading them on like cattle, trying to get them on so that they could get off to their next route.
Aviation attorney Mark Schwartz has litigated many jet bridge injury cases.
I think this is more of a customer service dispute than necessarily a legal claim.
He says there are no laws limiting how long passengers can be left waiting there and nothing about climate.
On airplanes, yes. Stuck on an airplane with no air conditioning, yes. But nothing like that ever on a jet bridge.
In a statement, American Airlines simply said, "We strive to provide a positive experience to everyone who travels with us." A member of our team has reached out to the customer to learn more about what occurred. Harrison says they've gotten nowhere with the airline and after a few hours in the hospital are just relieved the teen is okay.
You know, somebody could die. And in my experience, what happened yesterday, I just don't want to see that happen again.
MSP says they have no information to suggest an increase in medical calls due to the heat.
Yeah, it's going to be even more these next couple days. These people that don't have air, it's going to be tough on them. They better get box fans or whatever, because if you ain't got air, it's going to be tough. Fans, keep the windows open, whatever. If you keep your shades and keep the house cool, you just have fans in the house. So people are going to have to, really, they're saying they're going to be looking at the homeless. The people are homeless because they pop up around here too. So that's why I'm playing pickleball early in the morning. I caught this, and this is I thought this was interesting down in other parts of the world where we know, certain people are trying to come on in. They think they hit the lottery, they come over here. But
Tonight on the night team, a battle over those huge buoys that have been placed in the Rio Grande River at the southern border is heading now to federal court. The federal government had requested that they be removed, taken out of the Rio Grande. Texas Governor Greg Abbott responded to that request by saying, quote, "See you in court, Mr. President." Today, the Department of Justice did just that, filing a lawsuit against the state. Here's ABC's Melissa Adan.
The Department of Justice now suing the state of Texas for installing this 1,000-foot buoy barrier in the Rio Grande River to deter migrants from crossing from Mexico into the U.S. The lawsuit claims Texas defied federal law by not seeking authorization prior to installing the floating barrier, saying it presents serious risks to the environment, navigation, and public safety, and violates a number of laws. Abbott sending a letter to President Biden saying the Constitution grants Texas the sovereign interest to protect its borders, adding Texas will see you in court, Mr. President. On Monday, the White House responding just before the lawsuit was filed.
Instead of coming to the table and trying to figure out a way to work together, he continues to do this.
So my question would be, what's wrong? Because it's slowing the motherfuckers down. So it makes you wonder, like, this is slowing them down. They're able to control them a little more with those buoys. And why would the federal government be against that? Because again, Biden's gonna need a bunch of the brown folks that they let in here to vote for him. You already know some people, you hear 2-3 days, you get to vote. So why would Biden be against the state in this? I think it kind of speaks for itself. It speaks for itself. Yes. This is one. Yeah, this is one. I caught this last night. Wanted to see if you guys knew about this one. All right.
Straightforward. It's going to be close to the road. It's like county line. You'll see there's several units.
I don't watch all 12 minutes of this shit.
I need an update for 1020 again.
There we go. This is it.
Tell them to stop there if they got wrong. That's a dog! Come to me! You don't want bit! On the ground, you're gonna get bit. Come to me, man!
Do not let them, don't release the dog. Do not release the dog with his hands up. Do not release the dog with his hands up. Do not release the dog with his hands up. Don't. Do not. Get the dog off of him. Get the dog off of him.
Get the dog! Out the dog! Watch the cab! Watch the cab! Get the cab!
Get the dog off.
Get your dog! Get it out!
I got squawking.
Yeah.
Don't get a call now. Suspect. Our clearing the vehicle now.
All right. That one officer sicked the dog on him. Watch.
Do not release the dog with his hands up. Do not.
Now look at him. Look how aggressive he is with the dog. He's making the dog aggressive. You see, this officer is making the dog aggressive. This officer, again, we're looking at county, we're looking at locals. And the county, the ones that's behind him say, don't release that dog on that man that's given up. But look at this aggressor right here. Look what he's doing. He aggressively rushes up and lets the dog loose.
Release the dog with his hands up. Don't. Do not.
He told the dog to go. He said, not there. He tells, watch.
With his hands up. Don't.
See his hand? He's telling the dog to attack. This guy right here. So if anybody's going to get sued, again, this could be real and fake at the same time.
Do not. Do not. Get the dog off of him. Get the dog off of him.
Get the dog! Out the dog! Watch the cab! Watch the cab! Get the cab!
Get the dog off.
I got squad.
Yeah.
Don't get a call now. Cancer clearing the vehicle now.
Remorse. She feels bad. She feels bad. There was no reason. And here's the dude that has the dog still right there. And they're still handcuffing a wounded person.
Get the first aid.
And look at this wound. Lucky that he bit him, looks like more in the back, but look at that gash he took out of his arm. Look at that. Look at that gash he took out of this young man's arm. And the young man, all he didn't do is he had an 18-wheeler and he didn't stop. He didn't have they stopped him for not having a mud guard. And this is what happened to him.
What?
And again, we only see European officers. We only see European officers. Female and male European officers.
Yes, clear that. You got a first aid kit going up there now?
Yep, he's bringing it to me. I'm putting it on. 23 southbound, left lane B.
Now, it would seem like to me, if there's a supervisor involved, this guy over here would have been taken away from the scene or had to stay near his vehicle if there was some type of supervisor involved. But apparently no one's in control of this.
23 southbound, left lane B. I say have one of the motor units open this or whatever.
Yeah. Was that not loud enough?
You said it 3-4 multiple times. But then we have the front steer tire on the rims, 32 right lane. They have one in route.
This is the guy that put the dog on him right here with the beard. He's the one that sucked the dog on him. This guy right here. Why is he still part of this? They were just talking about him. This guy right here. He's the one that put the dog on him, the guy with the beard.
County is already dispatched. Bro, don't touch my left arm, bro. You just let the dog bite me. Why would you touch my left arm? No, why you keep bending my arm?
We're trying to get it wrapped.
We're wrapping it up. We're not trying to hurt you.
Here. There's a pad.
Not one melanated officer.
Don't even touch it while I got handcuffs on, bitch. Y'all...
Not one melanated officer. Not one. We got the sheriff, we got the state troopers, we got the sheriff, and I think the officer that put that dog on him was a local.
Just making it worse. Man,
let me see, where's the
left arm, bro? You just let the dog bite me. Why would you touch?
Yeah, he's a local. He's a local. Yeah, he's from this car. He's a local. We got state, sheriff, and locals. This local officer put the dog on him.
My left arm. No, why you? Nobody. I just got bit. Dog bite me. You don't understand. Did you get bit by a dog?
We're gonna have tape in here.
Stop squeezing it.
Nobody, buddy, nobody's trying to hurt you.
Shit, you just let a dog bite me.
All you had to do was come to me.
I was coming, all the guns pointing at me. How you do this? I was coming, all the guns pointing at me.
Nobody, buddy, nobody's trying to hurt you.
Shit, you just let a dog bite me.
Oh, yeah.
Shit, you just let a dog bite me. Yeah, you just let a dog bite me. Dog bite me. Oh yeah. Dog bite me. Oh yeah. Just let a dog bite me. Just let a dog bite me. Just let a dog bite me.
All you had to do is come to me.
I was coming, all the guns pointing at me. How you do this thing to respect you? You got a gun pointing at me. It's like 20 of y'all.
All you had to do was stop, brother.
I did stop. I don't feel
20
safe.
miles ago.
I did.
You still need the truck heartbeat?
Give him a call.
Go ahead with it. You Henry Young.
So this is a lawsuit happening. I caught this maybe this morning. That is a lawsuit happening. Clones are real. But yeah, I caught this earlier today. Yeah, because this is in the last 8 hours. Yeah, I caught this earlier today. And you know, it's real and it's fake at the same time. There's a lot of elements that's real. We see the officer aggressively releasing the dog, and you know, I guess we'll try to see what will be done in Ohio. What they will do, because we do see a local, look like state trooper told him don't release the dog, but we see a local not listening, and a local you even heard him trying to defend him. You hear this local again. This is a local. You see them. No, this is state. This is a different uniform. But when they were holding him before, it was a guy with a different uniform, with his same uniform, saying you're supposed to stop. They're already trying to, you know, blue wall him. So we again, they're gonna have to pay that brother off, because they were definitely wrong. Did you guys? I don't think we really care about that too much. I don't know. Maybe I'll think about it.
Right now, here tonight on the night team, a battle over
your mama. Motherfuckers don't talk about niggas' mamas like they used to be. My mom, she was a good old gal. Yeah. Well, I didn't have a whole lot tonight to really run with. Just wanted to come on a little earlier so I can get done a little earlier, so I can wake up and play pickleball in the morning, you know. Oh, yeah, this one was pretty nasty, too. This one's real nasty. Not Janet Jackson. Call me. This is some sick shit here. Must admit, this is pretty sick.
C-A-S-E-Y, Kelly, K-E-L-L-Y. Delray Beach Police Chief, Russ Major.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Chief Russ Major. I'm the Chief of the Delray Beach Police Department, and we are asking for the public's assistance in a recent homicide that occurred last week. On July 21st, we were called to the 1000 block of Palm Trail in the Intracoastal Waterway, where somebody was reporting a suitcase with what was believed to be the human remains hanging outside the suitcase, floating within the Intracoastal Waterway. Officers and detectives responded and were able to corroborate that it was in fact human remains that were protruding from this particular suitcase. Within a few hours of this particular call, we had received 2 other calls regarding other suitcases that were floating just south of this location. There were 2 other suitcases found within a few hours of the original call. We were able to determine that the remains within this suitcase, the 2 suitcases, were actually human remains as well, and all 3 suitcases were deemed to be the same person, the same victim as the original suitcase that was found. We contacted the medical examiner's office, and they came out to assist with the investigation, and they're also doing the autopsy on this particular case. If you have any information that relates to this investigation, we would appreciate your assistance and feedback. No information is too small. We're requesting help from the community and anyone that may have information in this case. I'm now going to introduce Sergeant Casey Kelly, who is the investigator, the lead supervisor on this case, and he'll be providing the details and answering any questions that you all may have as it relates to this investigation.
Thank you, Chief. I'm just going to elaborate a little bit on the investigation. We're estimating our female victim is somewhere between 35 and 55 years of age. She is either Caucasian or Latin American. She's roughly 5'4" with brown hair and may have tattooed eyebrows. She was found wearing a floral tank top, pictured beside me, with a black camisole shirt underneath and black shorts. The brand of the floral top is Betsabi, which is unique, we believe, and from what we can tell is a Brazilian company. Based on the victim's condition, we believe the time frame in which she was put into the water to be between Monday, July 17th, and the early morning hours of Thursday, July 20th. We're asking for the public's help with reviewing video surveillance cameras during that time frame. We ask that you specifically look for unusual vehicles or people, and certainly anyone carrying or moving luggage. The area of interest is between the Linton Boulevard Bridge and the north end Delray Beach city limits along the Intercoastal Waterway. Detective Michael Laberta is the lead investigator for this case, and all tips and information should be directed to his phone line, which I'm going to provide. 561-243-7874.
So do y'all know what they're talking about? They done found 3 suitcases of body parts. Shadow of Tomorrow, thank you for joining. And being up this late with me, you know what you got to have.
You got to have vision.
So this is 3 suitcases worth of body parts. Let them keep going.
Again, 561-243-7874. I will open the floor up for any questions. Just understand that the case is very sensitive, so I will be limited in my responses.
Is there a missing person that would match that description?
We are certainly looking into that, but we have not discovered that as of yet.
What is your reaction to somebody finding suitcases with human remains?
It's certainly troubling, but we're looking into, the investigation is very early in its stages.
Is there a reward offered?
Not as of yet.
Are you considering offering a reward?
We're considering all things.
How was the woman killed?
That's sensitive case information that I won't answer at this point.
Were all the parts of her body found in the 3 suitcases, or was anything missing?
We have determined that all the parts that we have are of one victim, but I won't answer specifics on which parts we have or which ones were found in which cases.
This is quite gruesome.
Certainly, I would agree with you.
Of a woman's body found in 3 separate suitcases, it's very gruesome.
I would agree with you.
And so, any thoughts on or any warnings out to the public as to?
Yeah, Dexter's working. That's what the public needs to know. Dexter's back around.
Maybe someone could be out there who did this?
So from what we can tell, we believe it to be an isolated incident, and that's the gist of what I can provide at this point.
That's why life is a splendid thing, and you don't want to fuck with somebody that might cut your ass up and put you in suitcases. Life can get very serious. Yeah. It is. Wow. Oh, here's part 2.
In the Intracoastal Waterway in Del.
Okay, and this is when they first find them, I'm guessing. All right. This is when they first find their ass. All right.
Ray Beach.
Bunch of cop cars. FWC was here. Boca Police, Palm Beach County, Delray Beach Police.
Marina Delray dockhand Keenan Johnson watches from afar.
My first instinct was like an endangered sea turtle or something like that was like floating by.
Law enforcement investigating for a second day.
Just was like in shock, really. For all this to happen.
After Delray Beach police discovered suitcases filled with human remains just a few feet from where Johnson works.
Been working here for quite a while, and nothing like this has ever happened around here.
Police say they found that first suitcase here in the Intracoastal Waterway along the 1000 block of Palm Trail. Shortly after, they say they found 2 more suitcases along Northeast 7th Avenue and Quasuarina Road nearby. This morning, police still investigating in the water and on ground. They say the remains appear to be of an unidentified adult woman. Police say they believe the woman is white or Hispanic, middle-aged with brown hair, about 5'4". They say she was wearing this floral tank top with black shorts.
I'm definitely not going to sleep well tonight, just knowing like this is kind of going on in my backyard, but you know, it's crazy. It's a crazy, sad world we live in today.
Now the remains were taken to the medical...
And she is kind of fine. I mean, she's a little thick. She can get it. She's cute. But let's go.
Examiner's office. There's still many unanswered questions. We're working to learn more, but if you have any information, you're asked to contact.
Well, I agree. That's a gruesome story. Very gruesome. Very, very gruesome. And I just wanted to show you a little bit of debauchery that goes on in America. Yeah, man, it is. Yeah, it is debauchery. Definitely debauchery.
Kelly, Sergeant Casey, C-A-S-E.
Go away, Sergeant Casey, go away. Damn. Well, now that the young lady has, and let's not forget, we've got to not forget that, I know I showed this, but this shit it's not funny, but it's like, going back to just let's not forget that this chick right here hired somebody to put a hit on her 3-year-old baby because she didn't have custody of it. And as I've said before, I really thought it was the Klan baby. It was why she wanted to put a hit on it, because she was the owner of the Klan baby, but maybe that's not quite so. So, any thoughts on Obama's personal chief found dead after paddleboard accident? How is that accident? If anybody gets paddleboarded, how is that accident? I mean, we can't put anything past the Obamas. You know, Obama was nothing but a Democrat continuation of the Bushes. Trained by the Bushes, original money by the Bushes. You know, he's a Bush guy, so nothing surprises me. You know, it's interesting during the time of, you know, the election's about to go full swing. You're hearing more and more about him. Like yesterday, I heard about somebody who was talking about Obama's recent music, you know, that he put in whatever. He's listening to music. So, it doesn't surprise me. And how does personal chief found dead after a paddleboard accident? Now, is this some kind of sex thing? Was that it? You know, some kind of sex thing and he got paddleboard? What caused it? So I don't know. I don't, you know, I don't really, well, Obama's. Well, let's look it up. I hadn't heard about the shit, but let's look it up. So right here it says, Martha's Vineyard, private chef dead after paddle boarding accident at why is they paddle boarding the cook? Like, what did they do to paddle board him? Like did they think he stole some shit? So they's like, well, we need to paddle board the nigga because he done stole some shit. But it says White House Chief of Staff, he's all smiles, Washington, D.C. Campbell, blah, blah, blah. Local authorities confirm that paddle boarder who went missing over the weekend, Martha Vineyard Former. So it's not, so they didn't try to drown him. So he drowned on his own. The body was recovered from Edgetown, Great Pond by Massachusetts. Emergency responders sent the property belonging to the former president for reports of drowning around. Police said a fellow paddleboarder reporting that he had not resurfaced. Police say Campbell was paddleboarding near Obama residence when he fell off the board without a life jacket and drowned. Well, he was a dumbass. Virginia native was not accompanied by either President Obama or his family. He was formerly employed at the White House. He was beloved by them. When we first met him, he was talented sous chef at the White House, creative and passionate about food, his ability to bring people together. In the years that followed, we got to know him as a fun, extraordinary kind person. Campbell had been staying with the Obama family since they left the White House. He's been with them since 17. Wow. We asked him to stay, and he agreed. He'd been part of our lives. Wow, he had twin boys. Wow. So yeah, I thought waterboard. That's the thing I'm thinking, was they waterboarding the motherfucker? That's what I'm thinking, waterboard. I'm like, why is they waterboarding the chef? Okay, I'm thinking waterboard. Well, thank you for that. Thank you very much for that story. I appreciate it. I don't know. That does sound very suspicious. He's living with them, obviously. I don't know why experienced paddleboarder wouldn't wear his coat, because aren't they in a bay off of, a lake going in, a river going into the ocean, some shit like that? So maybe it was a type of hit. Again, you always got to pay the piper. So it's better to give up, somebody that had the 15 minutes of fame than one of your loved ones. You can give them up. So maybe that's the way to explain it. I don't know. I find it very odd. We're going in. We're 45 days from the opening game. NFL first game is going to be the Lions and the Kansas City Chiefs. The Lions are going to have this emblem on a blue helmet, I think is how they're going to open up. A blue helmet with this old 50s emblem on it. So camp starts this week for most teams. And we see that the running backs had a meeting, a Zoom meeting. Eckert from the Chargers. Let me see. See if that'll find it. All right, here's the story if you didn't catch it this morning. Why did all the running backs from all over the NFL gather on a Zoom call? The offseason running backs have struggled to obtain long contracts from their team. This caused the Chargers running back Eckler to create a group chat. The group chat had Barkley, who's not going to report. I think Henry is signed. We know Josh Jacobs has left Vegas. He has left Vegas. Jonathan Taylor, Christian McCaffrey. These are all the players there. Barkley, Henry, Jacobs, Taylor, McCaffrey, Pollard, and Najee Harris. I'm pretty sure he signed. I think he signed. So I don't know what he's complaining about. Jacobs, Barkley, and Pollard has already signed, so Pollard can't sit out, but Barkley can sit out and not be penalized. The thing about running backs, it used to be the old, well, a professional football's career is what, 2 years now. Running back is about, average 2 years. It's I don't know if you guys remember a long time ago, they wouldn't want to draft running backs out of the Big Ten because the Big Ten was so physical. The dudes would come into the league beat up already, and even what's his name that didn't show up today? Even him out of Ohio State, he took a beating. The Big Ten is very physical. Now, what it also brings to mind is we see the same thing, them trying to get rid of the running backs, as we kind of see the NBA trying to get rid of 7-foot centers. They're trying to say that these people, because it's the lowest paid position. And, we even have to look at, could a career like even Barry Sanders and Jim Brown, 10-year running backs. We're not hardly seeing that anymore. These dudes is getting beat up by 3-4 years. And it's a position where when you get the ball, every time you are physically knocked down every time, or you're physically blocking someone. A receiver catches the ball in space. So he's not, the possibility, only a certain people going to tackle a receiver. He's not getting tackled by linemen at all. But you have these running backs that every time if they run the ball, they getting hit by 3 or 4 people. So the pounding takes it away from you. I mean, remember Murray and the Cowboys a few years ago? He had over 300 and some carries. Nobody wants you after that. Nobody wants you after that because your body is just physically, you've taken such a beating. And so the running back position is it's a dime a dozen. It really is. They don't rely on a dude running sweeps all day. Eric Dickerson straight up. And so they're going to continue not to be. I don't know. Did anybody check the rookie contract signing, the number 1 pick? What did he get? 40-some million guaranteed. Young got 38 guaranteed for 4 years. The second pick got 36 for guaranteed for 4 years. The third pick got something like 32 million guaranteed for 4 years. That's outstanding. That is outstanding. And again, we see the flaunting of wealth. We saw that Primetime's son bought his NIF. He's made enough money to buy a Rolls Royce truck, the Canaman or whatever it's called. Why does that have to be shown? Why is that shown that he bought a car? Why is that news? But again, it's the well, I think Sly put it best. Sly said, how did he put it? I have it, and I'm gonna talk shit to you because you don't have it. I think that's the way he put it. I have it, and I'm gonna talk shit to you and about you because you don't have it. But you don't see other cultures showing it like that. What did he say in Oppenheimer? The power lies in the shadows. Just because you have it, you don't have to show the world. You just have to show the little bitty people that's around you that you have it. You don't have to show the world that you got it. So, I don't know. I don't know why they do us like that. Yeah, who cares? Exactly. Mahomes' crib too. Yeah, and yeah, they got them grind horse running backs. Exactly. Yeah. And so And so it's a position that is dying out because of just the pounding of the position. But yet, like in Canada, the running back has a much, again, the field is bigger, which I still don't understand why they don't go to the Canadian thing. Because I haven't researched it thoroughly, but what I'm researching is they don't seem to have the CTE as much. And they've almost always played on turf fields forever up there. Because again, when it gets really cold, it's the best they can give you in that coldness is a turf field, way better than a grass field. And the cold conditions that Canada faces. And the running backs still do have a position up there. Even though, they you can be in motion before the ball snaps and all that, they're still running backs. And our type of football, they're still, but see, what they're wanting to kill is they want to kill the Barry Sanders. I mean, Derrick Henry, they just pumped up. We saw him doing all those long runs and, TV tackling. Nobody wanted to really tackle. We see that. And so it seems like they want to show less value for these people and say, we really put the money in the quarterbacks, the receivers, the DBs. We get a lineman so much, we get a linebacker so much. But that's the highlight of NFL, of any, it's not, nobody cares about the offensive lineman and really the defensive lineman. Nobody really cares. But now they're making you think that they don't want the running back when really almost every team runs at least a one-back set, if not a pro set. Or it's not even a pro set. They'll put that instead of running the straight pro set, they'll push the other back up. So he's more of almost a wing back, if you understand what that would be. But and it's something that they are artificially killing. I wonder. Let me see if I can find this picture to just show you how they can kill. Let's see, can I get it in here? Maybe here. Right here. See if I can find. I saw a picture earlier. See if it pops back up. Let's see where. Okay. Let me see if I can find this. No typing, motherfucker, boy. This ain't what I looked up. I put him getting dunked on, and all they're showing me is him dunking. Because I wanted to prove a point. Maybe. Okay, maybe that'll open it up for me. It did not open that up for me. And I don't think I saved it earlier. The only point I was going to make, it's a picture I came across earlier of Dr. J getting dunked on by a European player in the ABA, and it's not popping up, and I don't think I saved it. And it just shows you how they killed European players going when the leagues merged. They really put European players out of the league in numbers we hadn't seen, and the talent wasn't that great. Again, Larry Bird came in 4 years after the merger, maybe 5, but the talent wasn't that great where it caused for them to. And this isn't it. This isn't it. No, that's not it. Let's see what pop up. But it was a picture of Dr. J getting dunked on. And again, the talent didn't cause the talent of the ABA or the talent of both leagues didn't mean that all the European players that had played before the merger should be out of the merger. I can't find it. Yeah, he could have saw something. He could have known something. I agree, but you never know. Or he could have been. They kept him on, and well, you know what they say about Obama. So maybe they kept another one on. So am I going 2 hours? Ooh, not long for 2 hours. Shoot, I'm getting in bed in good time. I'm gonna set my clock now. I'm getting my ass up again. I'm gonna wake up at 7 motherfucking 30. And I'm gonna be at the pickleball court before 9. Because it's going to be freaking hot tomorrow. And I want to get that shit out the way. There we go. I want to get this shit out the way. So I'm gonna get over, I'll do about 10 or 15 more minutes. And I'm going to call it. And yeah, I'm going to call it. No, nothing is a coincidence. Nothing definitely is a coincidence anymore. Like we don't even, like even young people that get into rap don't know that they're corralled into it. Because again, if you don't have too many life skills or academic skills or even work skills, they're trying to think of what can I do? What can I can't hoop. I ain't big enough to play football. There's no inner city baseball, not really. What can I do? Well, I can rap. I can do old raps of other people and then invent my own style. I mean, it's interesting the way the Chicago people are pushed. On the one hand, they're these supposed to be this big gag culture, but on the other hand, again, they want to be in the rap culture. And again, rap is the most deadly occupation for young men. Infinite Consciousness, I think is his name. Jonathan, the young brother, wrote a book, and I think it was in 2000 or 2001 or 2002, it was like every 45 seconds a rapper was killed. I think it's Infinite Consciousness is his channel. And so what would make, and maybe that's part of, because it is what they want to tell you is you trap and then you make enough money once you trap to start rapping. That's how they bring it out. Is if you can hustle up enough money. And then my thing is, it's like we just saw they cloned Tyrone. Everybody wants to look alike. The same type of jewelry. If all of a sudden, I want a Vacheron and put it on my arm, they throw these names out and all of a sudden everybody got to have them names. It's like there's no originality. It's like the same look of now in America, or not even just America. Because Burner Boy, it dresses just like American. Everybody wears the same kind of jewelry. It's like if it's one style, everybody's got to wear that same style. Everybody wants ice on the gold. It's copycat. It's like some dudes have the littlest chains, and it be something iced out on it, hanging from it, just so they can say they have something iced out on them. I like rings. Rings and watches is what the reward you get for being an athlete. That's why I prefer rings. Because that's an athletic reward. And so you don't have to win any championship, but your own milestones. That's how I look at it. I've hit certain milestones. I deserve a ring. The damn if I'm going to try to buy something that looks like everybody else's. You never going to see me with a star ring. And I love pinky rings. Pinky ring. Here's some bullshit. So I ordered some liquor, okay? And my girl likes those little bottles. So we ordered, they bring it to the door, we get it, whatever. We pull out the little bottles, and obviously the motherfucker who delivered the bottles had drank out of each bottle. Like both bottles, them little bottles be full damn near to the top. Both bottles was damn near half full. Because, you know, you can just pop it off and drink it and then pop it back on. And they gave us, you know, the little bottles cost only $3 a piece. So, and they gave us back almost $10 for 2 little bottles that cost us probably 4. So it did give us that back, but it's like, damn, you know, that's how hard up you are. You got to drive around. If you do liquor runs, you know, you drink the little bottle, and you really think that ain't nobody gonna be thinking like, I'm thinking he might have even did something to it. So why would I drink that shit? I was like, don't drink that shit. Pour that shit out. You don't know what they did to her. I think he just took a drink. That nigga might have did. He might have, but he might have not. So, says, yeah. No, we shouldn't be surprised by anything or shocked by anything. And like as we say, you know, we have to look at stories. You know, we look at stories, and this part of the story is true, and part of the story is fake. You know, that's the thing. It's like we just saw a fake story that was obviously that it was very funny. I thought the Klan baby was some of the funniest shit I've ever thought about in a long time. Little baby protesting, "I hate niggers" out in the middle of the highway. Like, yeah, go. Have your sign, little Klan baby, and go out there and, you know, fuck you niggers. I don't care. I'm a baby and it's 11 o'clock. I'm out here with my sign. I thought that was good comedy. But on the other side, it's going to make stories harder for the real people that come up missing. For the real people that come up missing, it's going to make it a lot harder. That's the negative about it. Because it's the cry wolf thing. Those darkies are always crying wolf, always saying that somebody's out to get them or they're missing or... So how is, you know, that's not really positive. If you get right down to it, that's not positive. Because how do you know the next time it comes around and a person needs those resources and they're like, we better pause. We better not put all this out there because it might be fake again. And that's the problem. And you know, melanated women are attacked more than melanated men because there's more melanated women. And I mean, like the story I showed earlier, straight up murked. Women get murked almost, you know, there's stories you can do almost every day of women getting murked. And, you know, if you analyze and they show these people, like, what could this woman possibly do? What did this young girl possibly do that somebody just shot her all these times? Now we know we've got the crazy boyfriend, but everything can't be the crazy boyfriend. And that is shown way too much as well. Like, that's the only way. Like, I did the story a few months ago. The dude, you know, the lady was about to take his children. So the children they had together, his stepdaughter, he let her go. But he killed his own children just to get back at the mama. And that was a European. So, you know, wasn't like it's just, you know, one part. That was a European person. How long am I going now? Okay, this is good time. This is about as much as I worked out today. What time is it good? Get in bed before 1. I'll have some fun. Man, I bought me a coffee grinder and I bought a cappuccino machine. The cappuccino machine is kind of a disappointment because the motherfucker, like, I drink, like, my coffee cup is a mug, but it's at least big as this motherfucker, and I drink it full. But the cappuccino machine makes this much at a time. Maybe even this much. Now, it's strong in the beans, but it's like this much motherfucking coffee. And I gotta wait like 10 minutes for it to make this much motherfucking coffee. I had an old one I got talked out of getting rid of that old one. It was the best kind. No plastic, and this one, that's what I like about it. It's no plastic. The water is never in plastic. I don't like Mr. Coffee's. I don't like Keurig's. Well, Keurig, you know, you got them. But any kind of, the systems now for coffee is pretty much you got to put it in plastic. And that's what I like about the cappuccino machines. You just putting the water straight into it and it's going into the metals. but it only makes a couple inches of coffee. And you know, like they show the them in Europe, and they got these little micro, look like shots. So I guess that's how coffee's supposed to be made, little shots. I don't know. Ah, Royal Bell, thank you for joining us. And to be here wherever you're at, you definitely got to have
vision.
And so I think I'm gonna close this one down. About all I had to talk about. I'm talked out. And so look for me. I'm not gonna be on tomorrow night, but I will be on the night of the going into the 26th. I'll be on the day at a time. I will come on the 26th. I should be around normal time because it'll be so hot this week. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to go play pickleball every day. I'm gonna see how I'm gonna do tomorrow. Because one game, like the second to my last game, the heat kind of got me. The heat really got me. And then the last game, the one player didn't want to play, and so I ended up having to play. And I kind of recovered, but I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna push it. I'm not gonna push it, but I'll go in the morning again and see how how hot it gets, how quick it gets. Because later in the day, it's gonna be horrible to try to play pickleball when it's heat index of 100 and something, and already the humidity is gonna be 60 plus. So, and so America everywhere is gonna be hot. So take care. Like MJ Givens was saying that. I know a couple years ago she lives down in Florida, and she was saying how during the day, the whole family leaves the house, but then whoever comes back first turns the air on for when the people come in the evening, and the house is gets cooler. And I told the story. A&T comes as engineers, and we rented for the summer apartment. There's some other students that was gone for the summer. We rented the apartment while they was gone for the summer, but they had rigged the electric meter. So during the daytime, when they would check the electric meter, it didn't move because we were all gone. But at nighttime, it was like a polar bear, that motherfucker. We had to heat up. We had that air cranked. But as soon as we left in the morning, we turned it off. And so the meter barely moved. But they had put some type of magnet on the meter, the electric meter, and it didn't show. Our bills was like $7, $8, $10. It was like, and I guess they never caught on, because the whole time I lived there, we never got a bill over $20. And we had big electricity, big air conditioning, especially all weekend. We was all there, and we was there, mostly everybody was there 2, 3 o'clock, or by 5 at least. So that was a nice little thing. See, A&T comes up with them engineers. You're an engineer, A&T is the school for you. Oh, so yeah, you can check me out on the 26th. Wednesday morning. Yeah, I'll probably be back Wednesday morning. Right? Not because now it's Tuesday morning. I won't be on tomorrow night this time, but the next night. But I will do a day at a time celebration. So I will do that. And that's some energy to tap into. It's like the last couple of days I've been really tapping into a lot of different type of energies. Yeah, like today I must have meditated a good hour and a half of just real solid meditation. And during the day, there's not as like, if you meditate now, it's a lot out there. It is thick with energies at night. And in the day, it's not. It's like, for those of you that can move in the day, that you meditate in the day, it's a lot easier to move during the day, because it's not as many consciousness using the space, because again, this space is the same space as where dreams go. Because all the spiritual stuff has to be with us. The dreamland, where you go to dreamland, and again, I've said this, maybe I haven't said this in a while, but I can positively, absolutely tell you where, they got television from, and something everyone does is everyone has a dream screen. And I say this with absolute fact. Everyone has a dream screen. You dream into a screen. There's a screen that pops up when you dream that's about a couple feet above your feet. But above your feet, there's a screen that literally comes and looks like this. And it's skinny. But everyone has it. And I don't know if you have to be a time lord, but I'm able to sit to see this. Because I'm looking at my body, looking at the dream screen. I'm looking at when I was with my daughter's mother, I'm looking at her dream screen, and my daughter's laying on the floor under her, and I'm looking at her dream screen. I'm like, wow. And so we actually dream into screens. And again, that's invisible to most people. Most people won't see it, but it's with us. And just like this, the astro, all this has to be with us. It has to be moving as this moves. And those of us that practice our spiritualness enough and reach a certain point in our spiritualness, we get some little victories all the time. And you go to where you know you're going to go. And that's kind of how simple it can be. Doesn't really have to be any more complicated than that. And when if you even want to set up, we got the full moon coming on the 1st. You even want to set up something and, thanks to ancestors if you feel somewhere they're protecting you or helping you. This is the coming week. Again, the day at a time is American thing. The day at a time is an ancient American thing that's saying we are a free day that is not counted. And no other time practice in the world has this but the Mayan and the Oman. And even the Aztec practiced it. Toltec practiced it. Zapotec, all of them practiced it. Because they all practiced the same number, counting system, months. Because the 3 calendars, well, it's more than 3. It's a bunch of different calendars, but they all practiced and they're all part of the token is all the wheels moving the same. Because every day has a significance, a spiritualness significance. It ain't got nothing to do with the zodiac or that. It's just every day has a spiritual significance. And you can even get further and say every day it's colors. And every day, if you follow certain things every day, again, the day does have these daily patterns that you can connect to. They can make you more successful. That's kind of the easiest way I can break it down. There are patterns daily that you might not want to do it. It's just like in the Mayan, in the calendar and the accounting system, death comes twice. In the 20 days, death comes twice. And death doesn't mean dead. It means that something could be starting over again or something could be ending. And so you might want to do something on these days. Because these days might be more successful for you. What is this? Why is that looking like this? This is one of my old shirts. I'm going to start playing pickleball in this shirt. I don't never wear it. I had all them Adidas shoes, so I don't never wear this one. Well, thank you very much. I'm going to call it. I hope everybody got a little bit out of something I talked about tonight. And, I appreciate the ones that come in here and check it out. I try to give you my best. Woo! And my opinion. I know a lot of people don't get to see elders and elders that are so stuck in their ways. And, I'm not immune to talk shit. I talk shit. And I don't, want anybody to be personally upset if I talk shit. Because it wasn't made in meanness. It was made in, I get a little full of myself sometimes and the things I support. first to admit that. I favor things, other things. Said before, even the Hero Twins has favorites. And so I'm passionate about certain things. But it's nothing, as I said before, it's nothing that someone couldn't come on and they wanted to rap about and say, well, this is why I felt I heard this. And I've been hearing this for years, and this is why, I repeated it. And that's what a lot of our thinking is things that are repeated. We hear other people talk about these things, and then we repeat them. Instead of really researching them. Because that's as far as most people go. They hear things, but they never research them. They limit themselves. Because they heard this little bit, and that's good for conversation. Instead of researching really what the whole thing was. It was like researching the Flint water crisis. You can't make a joke because, people that's been around you, and you got a simple answer for a joke. When in reality, it was a thing that really happened that could have been avoided. Because the people that treated the water said, this is all you need to do, and we can get these people good water. But the Republican politicians said, no, we don't need to do that. So there was no easy fix for anybody. You would have had to been there from the beginning. When you would have had to be part of the argument to say, we need to treat these pipes before we shoot this water in it. And that's not, it's a bunch of cities in Michigan like that. Benton Harbor, where my cousin is the mayor, had the same problem. And remember, where you live, your water is over 100 years old where you live, if not older. The processed water you live. Now remember, all sewer water is recaptured. And it gets treated and goes back into the system. So you take a shower, all that water is recaptured and goes back into the system. And so the water that we take showers and baths and feed plants, and this water's been recirculating over and over and over again. That's why they tell you not to drink the shit. Now, it did start another, remember water used to come in glass bottles. I don't know if y'all remember, like Perrier water still is in glass. But at first, all water that you bought was in glass. Now, it's jugs and shit, the plastics. That's why I'm about to get a kinetical system put up in this motherfucker. My brother-in-law got that shit, and I drank a bunch of water. I drink as much water over there as I drink alcohol. So in closing, everywhere in America is going to be hot these next 10 days. So take care of yourself. Check on those and help those that you can. If you know some elderly that it might be a little too hot in their place, see if you can take them to the mall or take them to a restaurant, at least till the place cools down. Maybe help them get under a shade tree. I know sometimes it's even hot under the trees. But see if there's anything you can do to make their life a little better. Because, like, if I go in my garage right now, it's miserable in that motherfucker. So I know, people without central air, or at least, the window units is going to be kind of tough. So in closing, that's how I close it. Take care of yourself. And this is Big Pontiac. I talk so when I tape that shit, it's so funny. But thank you. I appreciate everybody that comes on and checks it out and watches it again. I think I'm going to see Haunted House Thursday, so I'll do a review. I think it's kind of a comedy, so I'm still trying to avoid seeing Barbie because my girl wants to see it. Now it's popular. I don't want to see it. And Barbie made what, $390 million over the weekend worldwide? It's killed. It's the number one toy movie ever, like release date of a toy movie. So, but again, going to Ancestor Productions online, because he has another breakdown this week, and maybe next time I come on, I'll play some of that. But I'm gonna head up out of there because I got to get my ass up early in the morning to play some pickleball. I like to compete. I like to work out. So I gotta get up early in the morning and play pickleball on the reservation, even though it takes me about 25 minutes to drive to the reservation. So I gotta get up in the morning before it gets too hot and I be out there and had a heat stroke and fall out. They'd be like, I'm the only nigga there, so it's not going to be much help. They'd be like, this nigga was playing and, he's middle-aged and he fell out and nobody would give him mouth to mouth. But you know what I think? If I die on a pickleball court or a hoop court, that's where I'm supposed to die. Because, again, I am the holder of the infinite sacred ball game created by the Hero Twins. And with that said, thank you all. Definitely till we meet again. Till we meet again. And again and again and again. Oh.
Nigga get mad. Say, motherfucker, what you mean you ain't gonna let me in this funky joint? Much money I done spent in here, nigga. I knew your mama when she was hoeing. Hump, baby. Shit, bet I do it over time. Say that, nigga. Shit. Bet the bar, off time. Shit, boy, I'm trying to make me some money. Boy, I'm hungry as a hog need. Slap Jesus. Shit, gotta be a Jesus, cause too many black folks.
I'm trying to told you just what heard me, man. I'm trying to told you just what heard me, man. I'm trying to told you just what heard me, man. I'm trying to told you just what heard me, man. Joe feet. He looked down, seen his feet. The nigga went berserk, killed the monkey, threw the bat out the window, start kicking that bitch in the air.
I guess you go to the history of European civilizations. 250 years is how long they last before they implode because of their greed, because of their violence, because of an inability to let others be, including themselves. If they didn't have brown and black people to hate, they would hate themselves. I guess you go to the history of European civilizations. 250 years is how long they last before they implode because of their greed, because of their violence, because of an inability to let others be, including themselves. If they didn't have brown and black people to hate, they would hate themselves. I guess you go to the history of European civilizations. 250 years is how long they last before they implode because of their greed, because of their violence, because of an inability to let others be, including themselves. If they didn't have brown and black people to hate, they would hate themselves.